Hey everyone, and welcome to week 5 of AP World History. This week we'll be covering the second half of Unit 2, which is mostly the Mongol Empire and the impact of connectivity on culture and the environment. Before I get to your asynchronous work for the week, I just want to go through a couple quick updates. I know as some of you have seen grades coming into Gradebook or took some assessments last week, that you may have some questions about retakes and submitting late work. The first step will be submitting this form here, which will cover both of those scenarios, and I'd encourage you to have a look at it whenever you get a chance to better understand how that process will work. Retakes will need to take place during my office hours, which are normally from 8 to 11 on Mondays, and then after the advisory portion of advisory period on Wednesdays and Fridays. I can meet with you after hours or before school, but we'll need to set that up one-on-one. I also want to discuss weekend sessions. As you can see, the voting was pretty split, with the 2 days actually being entirely evenly split. Looking at the results, what I've decided is probably the best way forward is to have some sessions on Sunday afternoons and some sessions on Saturday mornings to kind of appeal to both groups. The first will be this weekend, where we'll have a Sunday afternoon session where we'll kind of catch up on Units 1 and 2 to prepare for our main assessment for Part 1, which will actually be the following week. The last thing I wanted to cover are some new slides that I've got for us. And these are actually made by the same teacher who is the Freemanpedia person that I've been sharing some of their resources with you as of late. These slides are a lot more in depth and I think quite a bit better overall. But one thing you might want to do is install some fonts so they look just a little bit better. These certainly are not necessary, but you'll be able to find more information about it on the class website. I'll show you right here what that means. But basically you'll just need to install some TrueType or TTF font, TTF files, which are font files on your computer, and I can help you with that if you would like. But the slides will work fine without them, so you don't need to do that. First, let's find out where to access those fonts. You want to go into our class website and go under the Unit 1 tab. You'll notice that I've added the new slides right under the AP World History YouTube channel section. It says Freemanpedia Slides. Please note you should access these in PowerPoint as they're optimized for PowerPoint. This is where you'll access those TTF files that I mentioned. What you'll do is you'll click on any one of them here, and that'll download. You'll be able to download the file from there. In that folder, there will be a TTF file you'll need to open and then click install if you're using Windows. You can find installation instructions right here for Windows or right here for Mac. Now let's talk about your asynchronous work for the week. First of all, you'll need to watch our weekly class video, which will go right here. It's what I'm making right now. And then below that, you'll see the topic pages for all topics explored this week. You'll see that I have recommended that you review one textbook chapter, but not made it mandatory. This week there only is one chapter to really read, but it is a new chapter. So I would recommend that you all do look at it if you have the chance. Then you'll pick one of these two options for step 2. You'll either review the slides in the old format, which are still very useful, but are just a little bit more simplified. Or you should watch these 3 videos, which provide an overview of the week's content. If it were me, I would probably watch the videos and look at the new slides. From there, you'll, for step 3, pick an option. So again, you can watch these 4 videos, which just go into more detail, or go through the new slides, which you'll see, you'll see right there. Now the slides for Unit 1 are actually separated out into their topics, but for Unit 2 the slides were pretty condensed, and honestly there wasn't really much point in doing so. So I made the decision to just keep them this way. One thing to note though is that a lot of the content from Unit 2 is covered in the Unit 1 slides for the way Freemanpedia puts them together. So you may want to review those, and that's actually a big part of what we'll be doing at this week's weekend session. The last thing you'll need to do, and it's what everyone will need to do, is to finish these 2 things in AP Classroom. That's all due by Sunday at midnight, okay? We'll start day 1 with some small group discussions that will be centered around topic 2.7, which is the review topic for Unit 2. After that, you'll have the choice of working alone or in pairs on an activity that will help you better understand contextualization, which is one of the AP historical thinking skills you'll need to master before May. On day 2, we'll do our first document-based question, or DBQ activity, which will introduce you to the DBQ and give you a chance to write your first one or your first one in a while. A couple reminders: next week there will not be an asynchronous day, as Monday next week is actually a day off of school for you guys, so there will be no asynchronous work next week. All right, but remember that week will be our assessment week for Units 1 and 2. The other thing I wanted to remind you about are textbooks, which you'll be able to pick up on Monday, which should be today when you're watching this, or possibly tomorrow if you're watching early on Sunday night. But you'll have tomorrow between 8 and 3 to pick up textbooks. At this point, very few people that have signed up on the list that haven't got theirs yet have responded to me, but if you're on the list, please do go. If you are wanting a textbook and said no, please email me and I'll confirm if we do have enough, but we do have some extras. And then after tomorrow, it will be open game for anyone to get one as they would like, and I'll explain that in class this week. All right, but as always, if you have any questions, please send them to my fcps.edu email, and I'll see you soon.